giving hope, giving light, bringing peace to our world. And this is the real movement.
I found out that the spirit knows and the soul feels.
Wow.
And the language of the spirit is images, is vision, is pictures. And the language of the soul is feelings and emotions. It is the mind that takes spiritual things, right, and gives meaning to it, gives feeling to it, gives emotion to it, gives passion to it, and gives interpretation to it in such a way that your physical mind can comprehend it and other physical beings can comprehend it. A lot of people blame the devil for a lot of things. A lot of things that happens to a lot of people is not the devil. It is ignorance. A lot of people are emotionally, spiritually, psychologically, and intellectually ignorant. You are a spiritual being, right, that has been sent on earth to have a human experience. You are not a human being having spiritual experiences.
Welcome back. This has been so exciting and informative. And I just literally feel us just being, just being set free by the amount of truth that is being shared right here. So we're still on with Mr. Larry Olushola. And from what you said last, I realized then that a lot of things that we Christians, pray about, or maybe even also non-Christians, pray about and say, oh, it's the devil, it's the devil. Usually it's about things going unchecked. You were giving the illustration about holding the cup, and that if you hold it for so long, things will begin to go wrong, in your arm, to the point where it will have to be corrected by surgery, medically, or if you would pray for it, then you pray for a miracle. And so this is quite informative, that we need to work in emotional health rather than thinking, oh, what happened to us, and then we suddenly need deliverance. And I want you to take it on, from there.
And this brings me to, the fact that people wait till there's a traumatic situation or a near-death situation before they act. And so they're looking for a cure.
Okay.
So it's more curative rather than preventive. But what we're talking about today is, if you're emotionally intelligent and aware, it will be more preventive.
Yes.
So you will not need to go through the various stages of disease. So when people get to the point where everything is broken down, they either go to church and ask for a pastor to pray for them, or they go to the hospital for surgery. So church or miracles is a spiritual kind of surgery.
Okay.
And the clinic, surgery in the clinic is a physical, biological, medical, surgery. Now, one thing that I've even found is a lot of Christians don't even have the faith for those spiritual miracles to work and to remain consistently working in their lives. Because the critical component of miracles working is still your belief. And we have said that 95% of disease is ultimately caused by a wrong belief. So it still brings you back to belief. And one thing that I say to people is, there's no vacuum of belief. So you say, I don't believe this, I believe this. The fact that you don't believe means you believe something else that is opposite to what you believe. So you still have a belief. So why are you believing the opposite, or why are you believing something contrary? You're still using your beliefs to create harm for yourself. Because at the heart, research and science now points to the fact that resentment, unforgiveness, malice, and the likes of those kind of emotions are at the heart of a lot of terminal and autoimmune diseases.
Wow.
So now it has been proven that high blood pressure or coronary heart diseases, autoimmune diseases, chronic pains, and other diseases have been associated with specific emotions and emotional traumatic situations. In fact, the WHO says that by the year 2030, depression will be the world's deadliest disease. It will be the #1 killer.
Wow.
Now, depression is a state of lack of emotional balance. It's a lack of emotional health. It will be the world's #1 killer by 2030. Now, they say that medical science now proves that an unresolved traumatic emotion is 6 times as deadly as the effect of alcohol and cigarettes.
Wow.
Yes. So some people don't smoke, they don't drink, but their emotions are killing them.
Wow.
Their emotions are collapsing their kidneys, their lungs, and their organs. So at the heart of a lot of physical ailments and manifestations lie unresolved emotional issues. So you find out that the physical manifestations or the lack of ease that you physically feel is tied to something that you need to resolve. And if you lack that intelligence, if you lack that awareness, even if you take Panadol and you go back to believing that, thinking that way, or seeing things from that perspective, it will recur. So you are not healed. They just take away that symptom.
A temporary measure. Wow. This is awesome. This is just really, permit me to say, mind-blowing. It's a lot to take in. I believe our viewers are, you're taking notes and you're just trying to take everything in. How do I know that I have forgiven him? How do I know that I've forgiven?
Forgiveness comes at different levels. There's spiritual forgiveness, there's emotional forgiveness, there's intellectual or mental forgiveness, and physical forgiveness. Now, if you cannot hug, if you cannot kiss, if you cannot hold hands and make love with each other, you haven't. It is to your benefit. When you forgive, it's not to the benefit of the person you forgive. It is to your own benefit to forgive somebody else.
The question says, my mom is a single parent. She loves taking pressure out of me. The pressure out on me and my sisters, but is tolerant with my younger brother. How do I avoid resenting her?
Resentment is the advanced version of anger.
Wow.
And it is a further advanced version of rage. But you resent someone that you cannot stand up against or stand up to or speak to. And resentment works like a cancer. It begins to eat you up inside
slowly
and destroys you. So you do not want to resent your mother because there's a Bible commandment, the only Bible commandment with promise. It says, honor your father and your mother, that thy days may be long and that it may be well with you. When you resent your mother, you have dishonored her. And what you are saying is, I do not deserve for it to be well with me and for me to live long. So if you look at your life, you will see that things are not working for you. You will see that you're not well and things are not well with you. And if you want to correct those things, you need to go to your mother and say to your mother, because of this,
how I feel.
This is how I feel. And you may not know, but you have that conversation with her. Then secondly is you may actually resent your brother and not know. Why are you in competition with your brother? That emotion is telling you something about yourself. It is you that has a problem, not your mother, not your brother. He's a man, and of course she will relate with him differently because you are a woman. And she will relate with you differently. Some things that she will not accommodate from you as a woman, she may accommodate from him because he's a man. And so you choose to interpret it as favoritism. So it comes back to your interpretation. And so your emotion is telling you that there's something wrong with your perception, your beliefs, and your interpretation. Remember that we said 95% of all disease is caused by stress. And 100% of stress is caused by a wrong belief. That is a function of your interpretation, your perceptions, and how you see things. So sooner than later, if you do not come out of this, you will have a terminal disease that you may not be able to, you know, you may not be able to reverse. And so if you go to the doctors, right, there may be some recurrent disease or some recurrent ailment that you may find that you may be having around your stomach. Maybe your menstrual pain is, you have very serious menstrual pain, or you have fibroids, or you constantly have stomach issues or indigestion issues. And if you do not go and change that resentment issue, it may lead to fibroid, it may lead to cancer around that area, and it may be irreversible. So it is to your own best interest for you to have a conversation with your mother. Let your motive be right. Let it be driven by love. Because I say to people that the reason why you do what you do is more important than what you do. So let your motives be driven by love for reconciliation, for you to understand the reason why she does it, and for you to accept it. She's your mother. You cannot know more than her. You know, and she has a prerogative, how she wants to relate with her son and how she wants to relate with her daughter. Because you do not relate with your mom the same way you relate with your brother. So why would you expect your mother to relate with you the same way she relates with your brother? You know, your expectations will be cut short. And she will not be able to meet up to your expectations. Likewise, you are unable to meet up to her expectations all of the time. So I say to you, you know, he who do he, do he. Any sheni, o sherai. So if you resent her, you are doing yourself